Today is the 8th of May, which is a significant date for me for a number of reasons. It's my daughter's birthday, so today we are celebrating the amazing person she is and is becoming. This means, of course, it's also the anniversary of me giving birth. And what I remember about that experience of giving birth was one phrase which I repeated over and over again. How much longer? I was coping with the pain and willing to go through this process, but I wanted to know, I needed to know that an end would be in sight. And my sense is that that phrase, how much longer, is quite significant at the moment. We've been in lockdown for a while now, and we recognise that it's important to protect people from COVID-19, protect the NHS from being overwhelmed. And we're willing to go through this, but we want to know how much longer. Now, the midwives weren't really able to answer my question. They could only watch and carefully discern the signs and indications, much like the situation today. We don't really know how long this is going to go on for, not really, not fully. And so we have to learn how to keep going in the uncertainty, to find something to hold on to, which will keep us going. The 8th of May is also a day when a woman we know as Julian of Norwich received the first of her visions from God. Julian is known for nuggets of wisdom such as the phrase, "All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well." And this phrase can seem rather trite and unhelpful unless you take into account the context which she was in. She lived in medieval England at a time when plague and famine ravaged the country. The Black Death had taken the lives of many, many people, and her first vision came at a time when she herself was on the brink of death. And what God revealed to her about his love enabled her to discover a deep, rich peace, which sustained her throughout her life. In fact, she spent 20 years mulling and reflecting on them before she wrote it up in a book called Revelations of Divine Love. And what I draw from Julian's writings and the experience that she had is that God's love is bigger than our circumstances, and that this deep and profound knowledge can give us the strength to keep going. It's a truth worth tucking away in our hearts and coming back to again and again when we're struggling. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me. Those are the words Jesus encouraged his followers with shortly before his arrest and crucifixion. He knew that circumstances were going to become difficult and frightening, and so he comforted them, giving them something to hold on to in the midst of everything that was going on. When we don't know the answer to how much longer, when we can't have the reassurance we crave, we can find something else to root ourselves in. Julian suggests divine love. In her own words, "For when the soul is tempest-tossed, troubled and cut off by worries, then is the time to pray, so as able to make the soul willing and responsive towards God. For God is always constant in love." Find what will root you today. Find God's constant love and return to it again and again, letting it sustain you in the midst of all the uncertainty.